Jannik Sinner staged a brilliant fight back from 2 sets down to defeat Daniil Medvedev and win his first Grand Slam title at the 2024 Australian Open. The 22-year-old Italian handed Novak Djokovic his first loss at Melbourne Park for 6 years in the semi-finals, but looked like he would have to settle for the runners-up plate as Medvedev dominated the first half of the match. Sinner was not finished, though, and he slowly began to take control with his huge ground strokes, opening his Grand Slam account in stunning fashion with a 3-6, 3-6, 6-4, 6-4, 6-3 victory. Earmarked as the man most likely to lead the game into its next era. Alongside Carlos Alcaraz, Sinner has decisively proved that he can be a force to be reckoned with on all surfaces for years to come. Jannik Sinner served it out for his first Grand Slam title without showing any nerves against Daniil Medvedev at the Australian Open. But he admits that at the time, he had very different emotions bubbling up on the inside. Sinner's stunning comeback from 2 sets behind to beat Medvedev ensured he became the first Italian ever to win the title in Melbourne. Yet the pressure of the winning moment was felt by Sinner, as he admitted that the final game was a major test of his nerve. "It was a very tough match," said Sinner. "He started off really well and moved me around the court. I couldn't make my game plan work. But somehow, in the 3rd set, I was looking for the small chances and the match changed. There are so many emotions, it will take time for me to process it all." After collecting the runners-up plate for a 3rd time, Medvedev said, "I want to congratulate Jannik because today you showed again why you deserve it. Probably that's not your last Grand Slam, but I hope I can try to get the next one if we play in another final." For Medvedev, though, this is a crushing blow, with the Russian now having won only one of 6 Grand Slam finals at the US Open in 2021, while this is the 2nd time in 3 years that he has led by 2 sets to love here only to lose. The first of those came against Rafael Nadal in 2022. But even without the Spaniard or Djokovic across the net in a final for the first time, he still could not claim the trophy. It had been a tortuous path to the 2024 final for Medvedev, who recovered from 2 sets down to win against Emil Ruusuvuori at 3:39 a.m. in round 2 and Alexander Zverev in the semifinals, while also needing 5 sets to defeat Hubert Hurkacz in the last 8. All told, Medvedev found himself spending more than 20 hours on court. It had been almost 20 years since an Australian Open final did not feature one of the big 3 players: Djokovic, Nadal, or Roger Federer. Sinner's victory over Djokovic was a breakthrough moment for the 22-year-old, but Medvedev immediately set about showing him that, for once, in a Grand Slam final, he carried the advantage of experience and he knew just how to handle the occasion. The Russian's usual tactics involve standing several meters behind the baseline and using his long levers to form the human equivalent of a brick wall. But in the final, whether because of fatigue, a tactical switch, or a combination of the two, Medvedev stepped straight in and began swinging. Sinner had not faced a single break point against Djokovic, which was a first for the out-of-sorts Serbian in his Grand Slam career. But here he found himself 0-40 down in only his 2nd service game, and Medvedev took his 2nd chance. Having lost his first 6 matches against the Russian, Sinner beat him 3 times in quick succession at the end of 2023 and went into this year's contest as the favorite, having dropped only 1 set all fortnight. However, he could not find a foothold in the match, at least not at first, with Medvedev striking his ground strokes with such crisp precision that Sinner, normally one of the most aggressive players in the game, was left scrambling to stay in rallies. He got the crowd involved in the 2nd game of the 2nd set, though, saving 4 break points with some stellar defense, but Medvedev simply came at Sinner again and broke twice in succession to lead 5-1. At last, there were signs of life from the Italian when Medvedev served for the set, with Sinner relaxing into the match by breaking back before threatening to get on level terms, only to net a forehand on break point. It offered Sinner some hope, though, and an even 3rd set went his way when he forced a break of the Medvedev serve at 5-4, upping the pace on his ground strokes and finally managing to hurt his opponent. It was clear that Medvedev still had the scar tissue from the loss to Nadal 2 years ago fresh in his mind and 23 hours of tennis in his legs. Medvedev headed off court to change, but having taken a long break at the end of the third set, he was not permitted extra time and was given a time violation for not being ready to start the deciding set. Sinner knew this match was now his for the taking, and take it he did, by breaking for 4-2 before clinching the biggest win of his life in fitting fashion, with a forehand winner down the line. 10 years on from choosing the tennis court over racing down slopes as one of Italy's most promising young skiers, Jannik Sinner is a Grand Slam champion. It was not until the age of 12 that Sinner, a national giant slalom runner-up as a junior, decided to put his ski shoes to one side and focus solely on tennis. Had he been able to foresee Friday's scenes on Rod Laver Arena, where he became the first man to beat Djokovic at Melbourne Park, in 2,195 days, it may have been a decision that he took sooner. Now ranked 4th in the world, Gucci ambassador Sinner is one of the sport's brightest prospects. And, supported passionately by his loyal carrot-dressed fans, he has become the youngest Australian Open champion since Djokovic won the first of his 24 Slam titles back in 2008. Growing up in the northern village of San Candido, close to the Austrian border, Sinner's sporting idol did not hail from a tennis court, but was instead Olympic combined skiing champion Bode Miller. The chance to recover from mistakes in tennis and engage in active problem-solving, in sharp contrast to competitive skiing, is a key reason why he decided to make the switch which has led him on the path towards his first major final. Co-coached by Simone Vagnozzi and Australian Darren Cahill, who has also assisted former top-ranked men's players Andre Agassi, Leighton Hewitt and Andy Murray, Sinner has come a long way since making his Grand Slam debut as a 17-year-old qualifier at the 2019 US Open. But if he has gone under the radar beyond the tennis world, the manner of his victory over the most successful men's player of all time has catapulted him well and truly into the limelight. And there you have it, the unstoppable rise of one of the sport's most exciting young players who continues to set a marvelous example for aspiring athletes worldwide. Thank you for watching today's special episode about Jannik Sinner's remarkable Australian Open and maiden Grand Slam victory in 2024. Stay tuned to Forehand Frenzy for more insights and updates into the lives of tennis's most iconic figures. Until then, keep swinging those forehands, and we'll see you on the court.